What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we'll be talking about the next upcoming event for Destiny, being the Festival of the Lost, which is the Halloween themed event. Bungie actually announced and revealed this through a trailer where we can see some snippets of what to expect, and more importantly they actually revealed a date for it, which is coming next Tuesday, the 25th of October, as most of us expected. It covers Halloween, of course, and it's going to be running for 2 weeks in total, so up until the 8th of November. And now we're going to take a look at what you can expect to get through this event and some things you can earn in terms of loot rewards. Obviously, I already covered most of this stuff in a recent video, but now we're going to take a look at what they look like in-game and basically how the event is going to work. So one of the first things we get to see is actually the new and probably the most cool thing about Festival of Lost, to be honest, which is the new kind of flaming animated wolf mask. In the actual image of it, it appeared to be red, but obviously in game we can see it's blue, so maybe it changes colors, or it could be a consumable that changes the color for you as an actual added effect. We've seen some of those in game, but either way, this is a really cool item. Absolutely cannot wait to get it myself. Now, in terms of how to get this, if it's similar to the skull of last year, you may only be able to get this through Eververse. The actual packages you purchased from her, they had a chance to get this flaming mask, whereas the normal treasure packages you earn through in-game without spending your actual real-life money, you could not have a chance to get this mask. So we'll see if they change stuff. They might have actually added it into the normal loot pool, but last year you could only get this mask through actually paying real money. With Eververse, we'll see how that changes. But either way, it's definitely the highlight and one of the more rare items you can earn. We can see a player with the new Bad Juju ornament on his back, and he's walking through the Iron Temple, which has also been decorated for Festival. You can see that twinkling effect going on. So all three of these social spaces, the Reef, the Iron Temple, and of course the Tower, they're all going to be decorated, but the Tower is probably going to be the most decorated one and the most changed. They also show off the Reef, and you can see Petra standing with some decorations and someone scaring her with a Scotus mask, which is pretty funny. And there's also the Cryptarch standing in a bunch of engrams. This basically shows off that you can still get the 2015 Festival or Lost masks. It's not just going to be the new ones. So if you weren't around during year 2 and you missed out on the last one, then you still will be able to get these old masks. So they also show off one of the new emotes inside the Devil's Lair, and this one is called Terrify. In its description reads float and spin, and you can see they're literally being like twisted and floating around. They're actually lifted up off the ground. Very weird ones, like they're being like puppeted or like demented by some kind of like voodoo doll. It's a very, very weird emote. You can see they're wearing the new chromatic Jackalite, which of course changes and cycles through colors. Very cool looking effect. So similar to last year, the quests will be obtained through Eva. She appears to be the main kind of like quest giver, and that is where you actually begin the Festival of Lost and begin the quest system. Now, one thing that I thought was pretty interesting is the description for this actual quest, as you acquire a tiger mask from her. And it's a quote from Fenchurch Everest, who you might know as Tess Everest's uncle. He's actually a guardian that travels a lot and gets a lot of this stuff for Tess Everest's inventory. It's a cool little backstory to him. But he says, in the Vex's time conflux, I befriended a being with a striking visage. He was noble, brave, and bestial. So basically saying that he found someone within the Vex's time conflux that will look like this tiger mask, which is really strange in itself. If you don't know, the tiger actually was going to be a race in Destiny. It was actually cut at some point in development. They were going to have like human and exo and awoken, and also Tiger Man. It was actually going to be a whole separate race you could play as in Destiny, but they removed it. It was kind of like a joke, and they didn't think it was too fitting with the game. But it's really interesting to see this Fenchurch guardian who travels the universe and finds all this weird stuff actually found a creature that is the Tiger Man and looks like this. So he made a mask looking like him. So maybe we'll encounter a Tiger Man at some point in Destiny 2 in the future. But really interesting they actually reference that. There's a little bit of lore behind this tiger mask. If we look at her inventory, we can also see she's selling the Speaker, Cryptarch, Crota, and one of the loot bags you can obtain. So that is a source of getting some of the mask and loot items as well. You can also see a guardian who's actually doing a quest in the Plaguelands, and this of course is filling up his candy bag. You can see on the side of the screen he's earning candy instead of actual glimmer, and this is basically the way to grind through the game and earn stuff as opposed to spending your real life money at Eververse. Now, speaking of Eververse, you can see her inventory. We can see the new treasures of the Lost bag and the new emotes as well. And inside them, you can see the new items, a bunch of masks, consumables, items, and stuff like that. It's also important to note that you can obtain as a possible loot item the new ornaments Hadoom and Dragonsbane for the Bad Juju. I'm not sure if you can also obtain these from the Sterling treasures as well as these treasures of the Lost. This, of course, is one of the sources. There's also a scene of a bunch of the new masks being like previewed with the Hotline Bling dance, and Oryx laughing at a crying Prince Uldren, probably because he killed the Queen, or at least he thought he did. There's also one of the new Siva pod masks and the ghost, which is literally an actual ghost, like with the little robes after it, which is pretty funny as well. We get to see 2 of the new shaders, the bright pink one and the bright green one being previewed. They show off one of the new emblems and a bunch of wolves actually performing the werewolf emote, which is pretty strange. They preview some of the consumable items, and these aren't actual masks, these are temporary items that last for, I believe, 20 minutes, just like the jack-o'-lantern. There's a Bad Dreams one, which looks like the Taken effect, and also the Sleepless Gaze, which are literally giant eyeballs, very weird looking. And there's also the brand new Sparrow, of course, which is the S35 Jealousy. That, of course, glows green. The other ghost shell is this one with the little taped-on horns and the little tail. As you can see, it's a little devil shell. And the final thing they show is, of course, the Revenant mask, and these are the actual Taken Iron Lords, which we face in the final mission, like the remnants of Yolda. There's a mini axe coming out of the top of the head, which is really funny, and they're doing the Terrify emote on top of the fire. So there we have it. That is a full preview of Festa Lost and everything we can expect in terms of the items, the quests, and some of the things involved with the event. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are about the Festival of Lost event, and if you're excited for it to launch on Tuesday. As I said, it's going to be lasting for 2 weeks, so there's plenty of time to get everything done. If you want to leave a like on the video, that'd be much appreciated. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.